Thank you all for joining. This is the Indie Distributor podcast. I'm the host, Kevin Rogers Kobus. I work with the Indie Distributor, and I'm also in a band called Shoemaker Levy. And I'm here with the infamous Life of Exile, who has a ton of stuff going on. And so, yeah, we just wanted to catch up with you all and ask you a couple of questions about how things are going. And the first thing I usually ask is the origin story of the band and get a sense of how everything sort of started off and where'd y'all meet each other, you know, that type of thing. What kind of kicked things off?
Sure, yeah. Well, it's been like, has it been 2 years almost?
Almost, yeah.
It's been like around 2 years. So me, Nick, and Connor all did music lessons at the same place. And then my drum teacher, he connected me to Bella's dad, who ran the band. And then I went in for a couple practices, and then they said they needed a guitar, so I brought Nick with me.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. And so did it kind of feel like, all right, these are the types of folks that I want to actually try to do something with, or you know, or did you actually have to go through a few sessions first?
I mean, I was kind of like happy with how it was at that point. I mean, it was pretty fun for me.
Originally, the band was different people, and I had joined it, but then those people had left. And then I kind of found Bennett and Nick and Connor, or I found Bennett and Connor, and then Bennett brought Nick. But so me and Connor kind of already knew each other, and we had already played a show together. So we were more comfortable around each other. And Bennett and Nick were kind of more comfortable around each other. But it did take like a couple of rehearsals and stuff for us to like, you know, like get to know each other just as it would with like, you know, any group of people.
Yeah,
but
of course.
It's the relationship is definitely like build off from there. Like we have a connection that, you know, not a lot of people have, especially like musically on stage. Like even when we're writing music, the way that we communicate and connect is very unique and different and special. And it's a connection that I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, a connection any of us have had with any other people.
That's good to build on that. So I saw you at the Peterborough Battle of the Bands for the Gusapalooza Festival. But you've been doing stuff obviously before that, and 2 years is actually a long time for any band to be ramping stuff up. But what things have changed for you as a band kind of since that time period? Because that was now last spring, I think.
Well, ever since then, we met with a company. I forgot what they were called, but we're in the process of writing songs for an album right now.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So
oh, sorry, my bad.
Go ahead.
We started making like a whole lot more songs since then.
We're on like 8, something like that. We're getting close to having a full album worth of songs, and then in March, I think we're going to start recording.
Mm-hmm.
How many songs are you going to go into the studio with?
We're aiming for like at least 8 to 10 for an album. Yeah. That's what we're aiming for right now.
And would that be inclusive of the 4 singles you already have released, or is that like over and above?
Those are separate.
Nice. So do you feel like you're going to be able to pick and choose, or is it going to be like, okay, no, these are the 8 that we want to make sure are on the record because we really feel strongly about them, or what are your thoughts on that?
We've been writing a lot more songs, but I don't think we've been able to write as many to like have enough to be like, oh, I don't want this song on the album, but I want this song on the album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so right now
it's kind of just like we have the songs and we want to record them and put them on an album and put them out.
Yeah, that's cool. So you have a kind of a more of a traditional rock feel. Is that kind of where things started, or have things kind of fallen into that groove, or what kind of genre? I mean, knowing that we all kind of don't really like this question, but what kind of genre would you assign to your music in terms of your original stuff?
I feel like you did a pretty good job of that. Yeah, so we started out, we were doing like covers of like everything. Like we were doing Metallica and we were doing Dolly Parton. So we were like all over the place. But yeah, I feel like you nailed it with our genre.
Because like we used like back when we first started, like the main places we would play, like we were playing to like a much older audience. So the songs that we were learning, we were mostly trying to like tailor it to those people.
Mhm.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I saw you pull out the Rage Against the Machine as one of your closers, and then one YouTube video has you playing Bon Jovi, which is like a real. Well, you just mentioned Dolly Parton too, which I think it shows your flexibility, which is really commendable as musicians, and that you're willing to dig into that type of that you're versatile as musicians, which I think is really good. But in that regard, would you say that there are top influences that you draw from in terms of the original writing? Because you actually have to pick something to focus on eventually, right? Who would the main influences be?
For me, I started a few of our songs with the guitar riffs, and when I'm writing, I usually try and make it something like the Killers.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Like for me, I like got inspiration from a lot of like Smashing Pumpkins and Blink-182. So those kind of genres mainly.
Well, a lot of my different songs, like a lot of our different songs, there's like different kind of sometimes I take from different genres and I kind of like integrate it into our song just
Okay.
cuz like I love kind of like taking inspiration from a bunch of different things and like putting it together. Mostly when it comes to like lyrics and stuff, I take a lot of inspiration from like Monoskin and Mitski.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the way that she writes with her lyrics and like her metaphors and stuff that she uses. I think I really like that she paints like a really beautiful picture as she's like telling a story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's excellent. Normally not on the canvas of rock and roll or either, Mitski, right? So it's
Yeah.
neat that you're sort of veering, taking the artistic aspect to her lyrics and adapting it for the rock genre. I think that's really neat. So tell me about the writing process. Like, how does it go when? I mean, do you sit in a room together and actually piece the stuff together sort of bit by bit, or is it like more someone brings more of a finished product to the group, and how does that go?
Well, it's kind of different depending on the day. So like we all practice in my basement downstairs, and it usually more before it started with like Connor or Nick would come with something and then we'd go off of that. But now it's kind of turned into like we all sit together and like add our ideas together, and then usually that turns into a song.
Mhm.
That's great because it really shows that you're growing as artists, I think, and together that you're able to bounce the ideas off each other in the room as opposed to something being more polished and sort of building on it from there.
Yeah.
So has that kind of progressed as you've gotten tighter?
Right. Yeah. Because I feel like since from our earlier songs, I feel like we've definitely gotten a lot better, and I feel like our newer songs are much better than our older ones.
Excellent. So with the again 8 songs, you're right into the LP kind of area there, right? Like with maybe even 45 minutes worth of material, depending on how long the tracks are. But are you working with a producer or is this self-produced?
We're working with the producer.
Is it the type of situation where they're going to have input on arrangement?
Your Drum Valley Records. There you go.
Okay. Nice.
So it's a guy that's my dad knows because my dad's also in a band, and that guy's recorded for them, and we had a meeting with them and we kind of discussed what it was we were going to do. And yeah, so starting in March with them, we're going to start recording.
Oh, cool. So it's like engineering side is taken care of, but then but they're also going to be helping to produce the record?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I think I think they're coming to my house and they're gonna set stuff up, and like we're gonna like do a bunch of days where we're recording.
Okay, nice. That'll be excellent. Yeah, I'll be interested to follow up with you afterwards and just kind of see how the process went, because always just curious about what people's experiences are working with producers or not, or self-produced, right? Also wanted to ask about the Pet Rock Radio nomination you just received. Congratulations, by the way. Tell us about that.
Honestly, it was really unexpected. Originally, when we got invited, there was a big debate within the band of why we were actually invited, because they didn't, like, as far as we knew, we didn't really know that much. We just knew that we were going out to Peterborough and we were playing a 3-song set. And then, of course, we knew that it was like a nomination ceremony. And then we went, and then they announced the nominations, and I was like, oh my gosh, whoa, so exciting.
Nice.
It was really great.
Well, I mean, you got to just keep yourself open to opportunities, and you never know what's going to happen as long as you keep putting yourself out there, right? So that's excellent to hear. I'm really happy to see that.
Thank you.
So then this is going to be kind of a question that I ask of each of you, but I'll start maybe with Nick. What is the definition of success in terms of the band, what you're trying to accomplish?
Kind of for me, I think within the band, I think it's kind of just getting our music out as much as possible. Kind of just having as many people listen to our songs, I guess. So more like monthly listeners on Spotify and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. Bennett, what do you think?
What I want to get out of it is the reason why I want to do this album is because I want to have our music out there on a platform so that it's always there, and like when I'm older, I can say like that was me, and I can play it for other people and stuff.
I love that. So legacy is kind of part of it. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, better way to say it.
Connor, what do you think?
I kind of just want to have fun with it. Like, I'm good with doing whatever as long as it's like enjoyable. Yeah, I find like this pretty fun. So yeah.
I just want to be able to make people happy and to have people be able to relate to my music, because I write a lot of my music about my individual struggles with certain mental illnesses and stuff that I've been through, which during those moments I felt very alone. So I want people to be able to like listen to my music and be like, hey, like that's happened to me too. Like I'm not the only one.
And I totally agree with you. I think that's, there's a lot of, in the indie space, a lot of folks get sort of tied up in the numbers. Don't get me wrong, that's important. It's important to have Spotify streams, that sort of thing. But I mean, I think for the most part, we can't lose sight of the human connection and the return that we get from other people genuinely resonating with what we're putting out there.
To me, that's the most important. I told my mom, because someone the other day or whatever said that I bought my followers or whatever, and I was like, no, I didn't. But me personally, I don't see like fame in numbers or like success in numbers. Like realistically, to me, what matters is like when I get noticed on the street, or like when people like add me on chat, or they're like, oh my gosh, I love your music so much. I started learning your song, like that. Like that's what matters most to me, is like seeing people actually like appreciating the music and enjoying it.
Yeah,
happens all the time. Bella's always getting stopped on the street by people.
Oh yeah.
It gets crazy.
It does, yeah, all the time.
I can't tell if you're.
They always tease me about it because they think it's not true, but it does happen.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah, didn't it happen like yesterday?
It's a double-edged sword.
Like she can't go down the street without like somebody stopping and saying like, "Hey, are you the singer from Life of Exile?" Like I don't know how she gets through the day. I'm not gonna
It's a good problem to have, though. Honestly.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it's something to aspire to, though, I suppose, right? But I think really the more important thing is that you actually have people that would reach out to you and say, your music means something to me, right? And like as we go forward in life, you know, Bennett, you mentioned the legacy thing, leaving something that is more important than just working the day job and you know, the stuff that is going to go on your tombstone that, you know, you want people to remember you by.
Yeah.
You know, and really, I can't think of, you know, for myself anyway, it's music is definitely way up there in terms of something that I want to make sure people remember. So, so on that note, I mean, it's a long journey. You've already been through a few years together, obviously going to be going through hopefully many more. But what type of advice do you have for indie musicians that are kind of getting into this space from based on what you've learned so far, people who are just starting out?
Respect yourself and know your boundaries. Know what you're worth, and do not let anybody convince you that you are worth less than you are, because there are people who are going to try and convince you that you're worth less so they can take advantage of your talent. Don't let them do that. Don't ever force yourself to do stuff that you don't want to do. If you're performing or you're doing something and it's making you unhappy, don't do it. It's not worth it.
It's excellent advice. Anybody else want to add to that?
Well, I would say the biggest piece of advice I'd give to people starting a band is always make sure that you pick a good guitarist, because, you know, we kind of messed up on that one, but you know,
oh, the shade.
It's important though, because like you want to have a guitar player that like goes on stage and like moves around and stuff and like has a good time, but like everybody needs to have a good time.
Well,
That's a good point. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Definitely true. Well, you get the benefit of watching everybody from the back of the stage, and so you get to, you know, exactly how much people are moving around or not moving around, as the case is.
I'm just kidding. Nick's a really good guitarist.
Nice. What's next? So you have some shows coming up. Obviously, you're cutting the album. You said March, I think, but what's the timeline for the next things you have going on?
We're playing the Atria this Friday, I'm pretty sure. Also playing St. Patrick's Day at the Red Lion in Port Perry.
That's going to be a long one. We're playing for 4 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's supposed to be like a whole celebration. We're getting there at like 9 and we're playing till, I'm not sure when, 4 hours after that.
Normally it's 3:45s is the common thing, right? You play 3:45 sets and then you have like 15-minute breaks in between.
Yeah.
So do you have 3:45s prepped?
Well, yes, we have 3, but now we have a bunch of new covers and stuff. So we have 4 sets worth of stuff. That's why we said yes to this show. We've never played 4 sets before, so this is gonna be the first time.
It's more fun.
They actually want 4 sets. That's incredible. Yeah. I mean, you know, if nothing else, it's going to keep the gel between you even tighter.
Yeah.
The more experiences you go through that are like that, the better you play.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so those are gigs, and then you're in the studio, or sorry, Bennett, it sounds like the studio is coming to you in this case.
Yes.
And that's starting in March?
Yeah. It'll be sometime next month, around like the 20th or something like that, I think.
Beauty. Well, it sounds like a lot of fun, and there's some really excellent stuff happening for you. And I actually couldn't be happier, because I remember seeing you for the first time at that Peterborough show, and I was like, you got a great energy on stage, and you know, and for as long as you've been playing, it's evident that you got a good band gel, and that's it's not easy to do. It's something that you should be proud of, for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So great. So thanks for jumping on the podcast. Yeah, really excited to see you all. Life of Exile. I expect great things, and I'll be following up with you in the next few weeks to see how things are going.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank
We
you.
had such a great time. Thank you.